Hey guys, it's Bex here, and I'm here with two very good friends of mine and of yours, Mike Perrine from Everyday Detox and Quentin Venny from QuentinVenny.com. We're discussing all of the things that you have on your mind, and right now we are going to talk about... I forgot.
What was video number 3? Right now we're going to talk about the problem with gurus.
Okay.
I have a very positive relationship to gurus.
I know you do, and I do as well. I consider Ram Dass to be one of my gurus. I found his book, Be Here Now, when I was 15 years old, and I followed it obsessively, and it changed my life. Very important teacher in my life. Dr. Wayne Dyer, very important teacher in my life. I consider you to be an important teacher, Quentin to be an important teacher, so many of my friends that I've brought in. Where does the trouble begin?
I think the trouble begins when you give them holy status. But there's a big difference between somebody that inspires you and somebody that motivates you and someone that's sort of shining a light on a path, and then there's to when they become the path. There was somebody in my life that was a teacher of mine, and he sort of had guru status with me in a sense, and I would think through situations and I would be like, what would Aaron be doing right now? Like, how would Aaron handle this? How would he show up to this? And it would motivate me to think differently about it and to show up differently to things, and it was great. I did some work with that person and things kind of fell apart, and his very human side kind of showed, and I saw that it wasn't perfect. Not that he was trying to be perfect, but when he started to downplay his whole thing, it was just like, I don't want to be a guru, just remember, guru stands for G, you are you, and they started to downplay the whole guru thing. It sort of deflated the whole thing, and when I saw the human side, it did take a little something away from that. So the guru thing had a very powerful effect for me.
But then didn't that teach you something else, though, to be able to have that experience of seeing them as a human being and not having that, holy, perfect status? So it allowed you to maybe see that you actually have more power, that you were the one that was making the change?
The guru part of it, seeing that person on stage, seeing them for what they were teaching, was very powerful. It made me think in a different way when that was happening. And it was just interesting when the situation changed, how that changed.
So I think Quentin and I, we have this kind of unique perspective in, we see a lot of the people that you follow, right? Mm-hmm. So a lot of the people that follow me, follow, other people, follow Quentin, and we have this community of gurus, teachers, coaches, that you guys, love and admire, but we have a unique perspective because we see them and know them behind the scenes as human beings. Right. And we don't necessarily elevate them to that status, and we see people following them and following their every word and hanging on every word, and then there might be a danger when they might discover what we know. But we don't see as faults, just as them being human.
Yeah. But it's like when you give them too much power, that's when it becomes dangerous, because now you're taking yourself out of the situation. You're taking value away from your ability and your journey, and you're placing that in the hands of someone that you don't really know. It's one thing for them to inspire or motivate you to do something better. Chris Carr, Bex, Tara, they've all inspired me to do things to better myself at some point. But you have to still look at them as, people that are experiencing their own journeys, and that this idea of perfection really doesn't exist.
I think that we know that people aren't perfect. I think that you guys know that people aren't perfect, but what you said was really key, is that when you take yourself out of the equation, when you take away the responsibility for you to navigate your own path, to be able to find your own healing, that's where the problem happens, when you're giving someone else the responsibility. Louise Hay, I saw her speak once, founder of Hay House, my publisher. Okay. She said something that was really beautiful. She said people come up to her all the time and they say, "You've changed my life." And she said, "No, I just put some words on paper. You changed your life." And that was really powerful for me, and it humbled me and allowed me to have a lot of perspective on what I do, because people say that to me too. I'm sure they say it to you. They say it to you. You've changed my life. You've done all these things for me. And it's like, all I did was speak my truth. All I did was put some words on paper, or I made a video, or I talked at you through the iPhone on Periscope. You did the work. You're the one that, allowed something to be lit up inside of you. So I would say, if you're following someone, take the teaching, think about it, meditate on it, spend some time, check in with your intuition, and then allow yourself to see how that feels. Like, how does that feel? Does it feel true? Does it feel right? Okay, now maybe I'm going to apply it to my life. But that's still you taking all kinds of action to make that happen. So find inspiration, but don't give away responsibility.
And, guru is such a heavy word. What if we changed the word guru to mentor?
I was going to suggest the same because growing up, I didn't know what a guru was. I honestly don't even like the word. It represents something, to me, it represents something outside of ourselves. It's something that's not really attainable. It's like calling yourself God, so to speak. I just never liked the term anyway. I look to look at people as mentors or, people who've just offered a spark of inspiration at some point.
Yeah, I think everyone's just kind of like a holder of a little bit of information. I think that's the plan. God, the universe, source, whatever, puts this inspiration, this information, this truth inside of us. And it's our job, every one of our jobs, your jobs too, to constantly be speaking your truth. That's how to inspire change. That's how to change the world. That's how to create ripple effects that change everything. And it's so funny because before we started making this video, I was in this weird tailspin of everything's hopeless. How can I make any change? How can we do anything to make anything better? And Trump and blah. And I feel really good right now because all we have to do is put out that little spark and receive the sparks of light that are coming back at us.
There's a lot of light in this house. It's a television set.
We're glowing. Are we good?
Yeah.
Are you guys ready? So I want to hear about the people who really do inspire you because maybe there'll be a future BEXLIFE guest. So put it down in the comments. Tell me the big things that you've done on your own that you're proud of, the way that you've been able to heal yourself. I want to hear that too. As always, you can hit me up everywhere on social media at BEXLIFE, Quentin at Quentin Venny, and Mike at Everyday Detox. And I will see you soon in a very awesome BEXLIFE video that you'll want to watch.